Presented by ScottKingDesigns.com. Hosted by Jeff Klein.
Pretty sure she gets a lot of comments about how effing hot she is, so she's probably tired of him.
Jason Place.
But
Well, you kind of had to suspect that that's what was going on anyway.
And SKD. Oh, I hope we don't lose everything. I'm gonna feel like a jackass. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Talkin Moto podcast. Why are we getting an echo? Presented by Scott.
I hear no echo.
I totally hear echo.
All I heard was fart noises from your mic.
How does it sound now? I turned mine down a little bit.
No, it's picking it up somewhere.
I hear the intro going again.
pretty
Somebody
sure
has something
she gets a
turned
lot
up that
of
shouldn't be
comments
turned
about how effing hot she is, so she's probably tired of him.
What is going on today?
But
Well, you kind of
your
had to
typical
suspect
Monday.
that that's what was going on anyway.
Talking Moto
And
land.
SKD. Nope, that's me. We got it. We're good.
Told ya.
We had a window open that was playing something it shouldn't have been, so... Jeez.
Asian corn.
Hey, you look at what you want to, and I'll look at what I want to. But,
All right then.
thanks everyone for listening. I tried to count today. We did have a lost episode that I never posted yet, so if you include the ones we have posted, we're up to 33 already.
That one will be posted at a later date when we finally have enough to have a worst of.
It'll be the worst of show. But yeah, it's okay though.
I mean, we can't be perfect all the time.
We're gonna have some good days and we're gonna have some bad days.
We can't even be perfect 1% of the time.
Right now, I'd just be happy if my computer would work.
Yeah.
I blame it Facebook and all the stupid videos. But anyway, so sorry we're kind of a few minutes behind, but want to thank everyone for helping us out. Plainview Power Sports, Northland MX, Pro Action by FTM, MB1 Suspension, Moto Kazi, Black Diamond MX, Hardline MX, Minnesota District 23, The Bicycle Works, The Open Mic Podcast, The Damn Bait Shop, and Scott King Designs. Nice.
Yeah.
So how does it feel, champ?
Woohoo!
Bust out the bubblies?
Yep, I'm enjoying an extra can of Diet Coke today to celebrate, even though it happened a week ago.
We took a week off, so we're just getting back.
What are you celebrating, jerk?
Now I'm a jerk. Why does that make me a jerk?
I'm trying to figure out what you're celebrating.
I think Scott said it all.
Yeah. The Moto Kazi.
I might have dozed off.
Oh, come on now, Jeff.
My red blood count is getting low.
Jeff might not make it tonight, but
I don't think we need to cover that on air.
we don't need to cover it, but we're just letting everyone know that he might have to leave.
Did you lock it up then? Is that what happened?
Yes, I did.
I
You are
shouldn't have
now
put-
27 points behind me with one race to go.
Yeah, well. Can't win them all.
Ah,
Hey, the door's still open and plus 25, man.
I think I probably got that one locked up as long as I show up at the last one.
I don't think you're leading anymore.
oh boy.
Jason show up to race on Monday?
Yes, he did.
What a jerk. Scott was not coming and then he shows up.
I knew that was coming.
But so yeah, Mitchell Oldenburg, he's going to be coming on here in a little bit. And if you're on the website, we got a few new things. I think it's cool, and hopefully you guys will use it because it'll help us out. But we got everything hooked up through Amazon, so if you guys are using Amazon, you should be able to go to the Talkin Moto website. Click on, I put a banner right in the middle. It's pretty easy. Shouldn't be able to miss it. But yeah, we should get a little kickback from that, so that'll be cool. Maybe we can, start paying you guys.
Right.
Right. But otherwise, yeah, keep liking us on Facebook, facebook.com/TalkinMoto. Twitter is @TalkinMoto, and Instagram @TalkinMoto Podcast. And as always, as soon as we're done doing our little show, we'll get everything posted up on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, and if you're listening right now, you're on YouTube. So
iTunes. I haven't done that in a while. Figured I'd bring it back.
Ugh. Well, I think we should just cut right to the guest. See how this goes. What are you doing,
Let's
Jeff?
see if he... What'd you say?
I said, what are you doing?
Why? Can you hear me typing?
I can't hear you typing, but we can hear you doing something else.
Well, I was typing.
All right.
I wasn't sure who that noise was coming from.
What noise was it?
Oh,
I didn't hear.
sounded like somebody sitting on the toilet.
Oh, was not me bleeding.
Ugh.
You know, I'm probably going to feel really bad about laughing at that one of these days.
Ah. Oh no.
Come on, Freckle.
Oh,
Hey Mitchell, Scott, and Jason, Jeff, Talkin Moto. How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad. We're, we took a week off, so now our computers don't want to work, and,
Oh,
it's all right,
that's
though.
never good.
It's all
Let's
right.
be honest, they never want to work anyway, so nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's just more an excuse, I guess.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Cool.
So how's it going with you?
Oh, good. Just hanging out in Texas. Took a couple weeks off after Utah, and just starting to get back in the swing of things, and hopefully get ready for Monster Cup.
You are going to go.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
So how is it down in... Was it yesterday you were saying it was super hot? No, that was someone else I was talking to. In Georgia, it was super hot. Has it been pretty hot down there?
Yeah, it's been really hot. Actually, yesterday we had some rain, so it wasn't that bad yesterday, but it's still been hot. It's been close to 100 almost every day, and pretty much miserable now that the season's over. But
Well, let's get right to it. How come I could be living under a rock, which is probably what this is going to sound like, but why the switch halfway through from little bike to big bike?
well, we were obviously riding the 250. I was just doing the East Coast rounds and having bike issues every first moto this year in the 250 class. My bike blew up. Don't really know why. We went to a different motor for outdoors. Just felt like we needed to make a change for the longer motos and stuff, and didn't really pan out. Redbud was really the last straw. My 250 blew up for the third time the first moto, and just decided to come home after Redbud and evaluate what we had going on. Jim Lewis with Merge Racing had a 450 motor from Jimmy Albertson Racing Supercross just sitting there, and said I could take that, and rode that a little bit, and went to Millville, and everything went like I felt like it should have on the 250, but minus the bike braking. So we decided to do that the rest of the year. And to be honest, I wanted to race 450 outdoors this whole year anyway. But just getting everything switched over from Supercross to outdoors is one thing, and then having to buy all new bikes and getting them all dialed in is another thing, and time consuming and costs a lot of money. So I don't know. It was a good year though, minus the bike breaking, but yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I was out at Indiana, and I think we were talking about it. Well, obviously a few weeks ago now, but you know, you were running up front there for quite a while. So did you just tip over, or because I heard the motor blew, right?
Yeah. Just radiators got packed with mud and lost all my coolant, and she let go with about 2.5 laps left, but. Shoot, I almost pulled the whole shot and was running really good. I tipped over, I think, like the third lap and went back to fifth and was running there for a few laps, and I stalled it, and I think I went back to like ninth and caught back up to seventh, and I had Reedy right in front of me, and coming down to the turn right behind the mechanics area, she let go, and it was a bummer. It was a real bad bummer, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, that track was definitely a little, tough on everybody. I'm sure there was quite a few that expired.
Yeah, I'm sure. That mud, honestly, it wasn't. I think it was too terrible bad. It's just when it was raining, it was really tough to see. But I'm not a big fan of the mud, but I guess I ride it really well, so I'm not hating it either, so.
I ain't gonna lie, I hate the mud. I'm a
So
fan.
Yeah.
You were the one out there doing the rain dance, saying, "Yeah, keep on raining."
No, I wouldn't go that far. I hate cleaning up after it.
Oh God.
That's a mess. But,
Now, how did now Supercross? You ran 250, and then you broke your collarbone, right, in Toronto. Is that right?
yep, second year in a row.
Well, they're not going back there anymore, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, thank the Lord. I hate that place.
So cool. So the plan is, the next race for you, Monster Cup.
Yep, that's the plan right now. I'm talking to a team right now that sounds very interested, and I'm very interested in. So hopefully, within the next week or two, I can get something signed and make it official. But as of right now, today was the first day for me to get back into the swing of things, as far as going to the gym and getting on a routine again. So right now, just focusing on Monster Cup and hopefully hit up some Supercross later this week.
What were you on for this summer then? It was just you, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was just me and my brother in the van. I had a buddy of mine, Lewis Long, helping me out. I went on and stayed at his place in North Carolina for most of the summer, and man, I honestly wouldn't be racing if it wasn't for that guy. He's just whatever it takes. He's there, and he's willing to do whatever. So I gotta say thank you to him, big time.
So now, are you gonna drop back down and do 250s for Supercross, or are you gonna try to just stay 450?
In a perfect world, I'd like to do 450 one coast and 250 the other. I don't know which I'd do which on, but I'd like to do a full year of Supercross and outdoors, all 17 rounds of Supercross and all 12 rounds outdoors. Just because I think, especially with the outdoors, I only did a select few, that I think I'd get my good result and then I'd miss the next weekend and people would just forget about me. So I feel like I need to be there every weekend so people don't forget, because I know I can put the results in, and I think I have been. I've been I've been there one weekend and gone the next. So right now with the deal I'm working, I think it's going to end up being just that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
You can't let the cat out of the bag just yet.
Oh, not yet. I don't want to jinx it, but
No,
I
that's
think if it happens, it'll be good for me. I think if it happens, all I have to do is worry about going to the gym and riding my dirt bike, which is my goal right now. Because it's honestly a mess trying to juggle everything, getting money together, get in the van and drive to all the races. And I don't want to sound like I'm whining or anything, but it's a lot of work, and a lot of miles get put on. And I think if I can just focus on riding my dirt bike, I really feel like I can put in some better results, just be more well rested and ready to go for the weekend rather than still recovering from the drive.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Well, I know I don't have any experience with that, but honestly, I don't know how you guys do it as privateers. To me, the traveling alone would kill me, and then you guys got to go ride dirt bikes too. So, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. You put in some solid results this year, and I don't see any reason why, you get on a solid team. I don't know why you're not going to be right up there.
Yeah, I'd like to think so too. And just, honestly, with me and my brother have been driving to most of them by ourselves, and it's actually hasn't been too terrible because he drives. I'll usually start out driving. We leave with plenty of time to get there, so we don't have to worry about not getting sleep and stuff. But for the most part, we stop at a good time and we wake up early and get out and drive right away. But he helps out with the driving a lot, and it's nice not having to drive the whole way. But I know, like Unadilla, I drove out to, my brother couldn't go there to that one, so I drove out to North Carolina by myself, which was 17 and a half hours, and then picked up my buddy Lewis Long, and we drove up to Unadilla, which was another 12 or 13 hours. So that was almost 2.5, 3 days of driving right there, and it was just glad to be there. And we were there for a day, and then we had to head home. But
That sounds like murder.
yeah, it's not that fun, but you got to do what you got to do. The sport's not easy, so.
Well, too, yeah, and then I've seen like the schedule. I don't know. Maybe it's just a scheduling. That's all they can work it in. But it's like, it seems like it crisscrosses, so much. Like Washington to Indiana to, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking with that. I mean, they got to drive it too, so that's why it kind of blows me away with that too, because they take all the semis with all the, with all the arches and product and headsets and all the stuff that they got to bring to the races. So, like I said, it is what it is, but it's the same for mostly the same for everybody besides the people that got to fly. But I mean, these guys got to where they're at for a reason. It's not because for the most part, none of these guys, nothing got handed to them. And I don't expect anything to get handed to me, but I think keep putting in the work and people will start noticing, and then that's when people start handing stuff to you. So, I don't know. We'll eventually get there. Just got to keep my head down and keep plugging away.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's got to make you feel good, especially when, if it's Reed or whoever, you're right there with all those guys. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. We're getting there, but it's just going to take some more time.
So now when you start training for Supercross, do you mainly ride your track there at Oak Hill, or do you get out and ride other places as well?
I go other places. I got a track here in Oak Hill, and then there's a Supercross track about an hour north of me in Oklahoma. It's just right across the Oklahoma border. They have a really, really, really good Supercross track, and then I'll go over to Matt Lemoyne sometime and ride with him. So I mainly just go between those three tracks. Actually, me, Matt Lemoyne, and Jimmy Albertson rode together quite a bit last winter, and I'd like to see that again this winter because I think all three of us together, it's only making us better. A lot of people look at it kind of like a bad thing, like they're learning my secrets or whatever. But I think us three, we're all on the same page. We all want to get better. We all want to get to the top together, and I think we have a good thing going.
Well, I gotta say, we were down to Oak Hill last winter, and walked behind the shop and checked out your Supercross track, and you are insane, my friend.
Yeah, man, I think I've done every rhythm possible on that track. Supercross, it can get pretty boring just because you do so many laps in the day, and just trying to keep it fun. But actually, this year, my dad wants to flatten it and redo the whole thing. So hopefully, we'll start working on that soon. I don't think I'm going to have it done before Monster Cup, but I'll just head up to the track an hour north of me and go riding there. And I think I talked to Jimmy a little bit, and he said I could come up to Trey Canard's and ride with him. So hopefully, if you guys plan on coming down again this winter, we'll have a brand new track weight.
Awesome. I think we'll put that on the schedule for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I can roll anything out there.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. What else is going on? Do you do anything with the Oak Hill stuff, or?
Yep. Yeah, I just help Dad out with basically whatever he needs. We have practice Wednesday, and then on the weekends, and then I think we usually have like 1 or 2 races a month. Actually, we just had one yesterday, and my brother wanted a race, so I had to finish line flag for him, so he could race. But yeah, it's been fun just getting everything ready for the fall races, and then eventually get stuff ready for the spring national.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I was kind of on the site right now, just kind of looking at it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first time down there. Last spring we were down there, and that's Oak Hill is definitely on the top of my list. One of my favorite tracks. I mean, of course, you guys being from Minnesota and running into your dad and talking to him a little bit, kind of brought back the old days a little bit. But just an awesome facility. I love the way your dad set it up and the way it's prepped was just awesome. Even though we came from Minnesota and it was March or whatever, and
Yeah.
the weather obviously had a lot to do with it, but we had a blast down there.
Yeah, he works his butt off. I'll give him that. He'll do whatever it takes to get the track good. Man, I can't thank him enough either. He'll like during our national, he'll be getting my Supercross track ready in the when he can. He'll make time to get my Supercross track ready for me to ride while the national's going on. It's just unbelievable, honestly. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Awesome.
What else you guys got? What else is happening?
Hey, Mitchell, I was
Nothing really.
something.
Just hanging out. We got some. It's too hot to do anything down here right now. The heat's fine in the summer when you're in the swing of things and training and working hard, but man, when it's off season, the heat can go away.
Oh shoot! I guess I've been to Oklahoma, but I've never made it to Texas. But is it just hot right away in the morning, or do you at least try to get something done, or it's just hot?
No, it really doesn't. It really hot till about 9:30, 10. But you can get up early and get most of your stuff done before the heat, which is usually what we do. A lot of people, they don't go riding until they'll start practice from 9 to Master Pools runs practice from 9 to 1. Just because of the heat, it's so tough to keep the tracks watered and stuff with the heat and sometimes the wind. But
no,
it's not fun after in the off season. That's for sure.
Are you with us, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened, but
You started to say something and then we lost you.
Yeah, I was. Well, I noticed I was muted for a while. I don't know if that was you, Scott, or what, but my phone's acting up. But I was gonna ask Mitchell. You mentioned Lewis Long, and I don't know. You probably obviously don't know this, but Louis used to hang out with my dad apparently back in the day, and
All right.
was kind of curious. Like, what is he just a huge fan, and that's kind of why he's backing you, or what's his
Yeah,
story?
my dad and him were really good buddies growing up, and he he came to Texas a couple years ago. I don't know what he had going on, but he stopped out at the track, and it was actually like a couple days before I left for Monster Cup for the amateur race. And they just got to talking, and he watched me ride Supercross a little bit, and just had to help out. And he's been helping me out since I started racing professionally, and man, been there every step of the way. He's drove to just as many races as we have, and just loves it. I know he helped Tanner Reedman out back in the day, and had a blast doing that. And I think he just wanted back in on it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, just loves being around the sport, I guess.
So, okay, season's over. You said you're just getting back into it. What's something that you like to do non-moto related?
Oh man, I just probably, man, I don't even know. Go to the movies maybe. Everything's pretty much. Anyone who knows me knows my life is routine. Everything's got a time and place, and I really don't get too many days off, especially when the season's going. But honestly, what I like to do the best in this off season is lay in bed and watch some football.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're the
No.
first who hasn't said fishing, so
What's that?
you're the first one who has not mentioned fishing.
Yeah, I'm not big into that.
Nice.
I can't. I get too impatient.
All right, man. Well, we can let you go and get back to doing what you're doing, and
Well, I have to ask one more question quick, Mitchell.
All right.
We still claim you as a Minnesota
Yeah.
rider. Is that fair to you, or do you feel
Oh.
like hell with you guys? I'm Texas all the way.
No, I'm Minnesotan through and through.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't do that. I still have a lot of family up there. They'd probably hate me if I told them I was Texan.
Do you get up this way at all, or just don't have-
Not lately. I was up there. We stayed the day after Millville and hung out with family a little bit. But for the most part, I haven't been up there in a while. But man, I'd like to go back for sure. I think I might be going back up for Christmas. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but
Nice.
I'd like to go up there and go hang out. I believe it or not, I kind of miss the snow a little bit.
I could understand that from being in Texas
Yeah.
for so long. I get
For a
it.
little bit.
Out there without snow.
for about 45 seconds.
Maybe a day.
Go do some fishing.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep claiming you as one of our riders, so you don't. Have
I'm
to worry about
perfectly
that.
fine with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I also have to know where the Twitter handle comes from.
What, the freckle?
Yeah.
Oh, I think my parents stole the nickname from Jeff Ward, and growing up I was always Flying Freckle. And then I found out that it was Jeff Ward's nickname, and I'm like, yeah, I got to cut that short.
Yeah.
And just went Freckle.
Awesome.
So,
Oh, that's that's cool.
oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And yeah, I'm excited. We'll be rooting for you. That's what I wrote that down. When is that? October 18th, right?
Yep.
So cool.
That'll be here in no time.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Won't be
Coming
long.
up quick.
All right, man. Well, thanks again, and best of luck, and keep us posted. Well, we'll be following you. So
All right, thanks guys.
all right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
I may have muted you, but then like I was gonna text or Facebook and say, "Hey, are you muted or did I mute you?" And then I almost hit send, and then you started punching buttons again. So I'm like, he's obviously there.
Well, yeah, I went to say something. Actually, I was gonna go yell at my wife, so I was gonna mute it, and I noticed it was red, and I'm like, what? I mean, what the heck? You know, I'm muted. Who muted me? I figured it was you, 'cause I'm sure I was making some noise or whatever. But then
I
couldn't.
muted nobody.
My phone is acting so stupid right now. Like, I can't get the screen to stay in one spot, so every time I try to touch it, the buttons go away.
Possessed by the devil.
I don't know.
Oh,
And my stomach. So
you're gonna, we need a pint. We need a pint of blood. You guys in the chat room? You on the video?
On what video?
Click on the video in the chat room. But
I don't see a video in the chat room.
what? In the
What do you mean?
upper left, the YouTube thing.
Why?
Do it. Do it.
Pretty sure it's still last week's.
No, it's not.
Alright, I clicked on it.
Let's see what
It's
happens.
not doing anything.
It's probably broken.
Okay, it started. It says round 12, Utah.
You didn't refresh it.
Of course I didn't refresh it.
Oh, well, yeah. Then obviously it's not going to work for you, silly.
Why would I? I'm not gonna refresh this mid-show, man.
All right, never mind.
Fine, I'll refresh it. But if I lose everything, it's your
Nope,
fault.
don't do it.
Nope, I already did it.
Dang
Now
it.
it's doing it. It's taking its sweet time.
What are you talking about? Refreshing?
Oh, well, that was just to fix our little oopsie from before. If Jason gets it to work, he'll see what I'm talking about in a minute.
Because
Yes,
Still waiting.
it's broken.
Scott, do you have a special mobile website? Is that what's going on?
I did set it up where it's supposed to be mobile friendly. So yeah, I don't know right off the top of my head what it looks like for you, because you're on your iPod or iPad, right?
I don't have an iPad anymore. It's broken.
Oh no.
This is confusing as hell.
Why?
Because I had to, listen to what we just talked about, and then now I have to see you, which is just creepy.
Just mute it. That's what I do.
I muted it. I don't really want to watch you, though.
Oh, I
guess I could.
can change it. We'll mix it up. It's no big deal.
Wave.
I did wave a while ago. I don't know if it's there or not. So yeah, there's kind of, I guess, a lot of things going on in October. Else my dates are wrong, but what?
Else you made a word just now.
Oh, that's nothing new. But so the MX
That
of
might be the
Nations.
longest it's taken to get to Nels.
Nels? I ain't worried about it.
Merriam-Webster is pissed right now.
So we got the MX of Nations, I believe is October 28th.
September.
It's September 28th?
It ain't October.
It must have been on something else. All right, because then the Red Bull. What do you guys think of that Red Bull straight rhythm stuff?
I think it's dumb.
What was that, Jeff?
I said meh.
Me.
It wasn't really. I'm making up words too. What is it? Now it's a race.
It's like Excite Bike for adults.
I know, but like now it's a competition, because didn't they just do it last year where it was just a few people that went and did it?
Yeah, they're blowing it up. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they're making a competition, but I don't know. I kind of liked before how they just released videos of it. Like they just invited people out and had them screw around on it. Red post the video.
Who's actually gonna do it?
Well, only Red Bull riders. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
for sure.
So what's gonna happen when a Red Bull rider gets hurt doing this and can't race a real series?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the price they pay.
I heard Pastrana was doing it on like some like 500 or something. I don't know.
I heard
Pastrami.
he was doing it. No, on what though? I guess that doesn't surprise me. He's probably gonna do it on a Harley or something.
Well, he's gonna knock himself out.
Yeah, he'll probably tear an ACL.
I think Robbie Knievel should do it on a Harley.
Whack.
Boner air every jump.
Well, he's only touched down like twice. Would need like 200 foot or 200 foot gaps.
Oh man. Yeah, that was some sketchy stuff.
That's about the only thing Stewart's even eligible for anymore, isn't it?
Probably not even eligible for that.
Have you heard anything as to what's going on?
The only tidbit I saw was in Racerhead. They talked about how it's pretty much up to lawyers now, and like no one's going to be talking about it until it's all done.
What else is new?
So
So
he's screwed, man. I think he's screwed.
oh, it's
Think he'll end up suing that nurse of his?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because, like, what are they going to do? I mean, I think they got to stick to their guns, you know? If they're going to ban them, they got to ban them, you know? Otherwise, it's just like, oh, it's Stewart, then, you know, it's going to make them look like jackasses, I guess, if you ask me.
Well, they could probably if they really wanted him to race, like if they were on his side, they'd probably just come out with some sort of excuse like a second sample was submitted and he passed and there was a mistake. But they're not going to do that, so I think they're going to pretty much crucify him and just I don't know, make an example out of him,
Oh, no.
which is a bit.
I kind of give him.
I don't
I
know
give
what
him
the-
credit for that, I guess.
I mean,
The way
interesting to see him actually stick to their rules, but
professional sports works these days, I mean, if you're one of the top guys, they usually do give you a pass or whatever. But I mean, if it really did happen and they stick to their guns, I give them credit for it.
No, and I think they got to. Even if if it checks out where whatever his thing is, it's good, then yeah, to me it doesn't matter, you know. But like if, you know, you get caught cheating and or whatever, then yeah, you should get in trouble. Whoa.
But I don't think at this point you can really say he, has obviously. They always my opinion is they split two samples. What's happening?
What's happening is Google Chrome is what's happening. So sorry, Jeff.
What's happening is Scott is being very disrespectful.
No,
that's what's happening.
That's because this stupid ad keeps playing on my dang computer and I can't get rid of it. Sorry.
You're not very professional.
Go ahead, Jeff. I am sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say it's, there's no way to deny that he tested positive, and obviously, so like I was saying, my I don't know this, but I think they submit two samples. One of them is tested, the other is not. The other is like a control. If the one is positive, then they'll test the second one, and if they get another positive result, then you're SOL, you're positive. They must have done that. They must have checked the second one, and it tested positive as well, because otherwise we'd have heard, that the second test was negative, and it's all good. But,
Did they ever?
he's positive, so question is, what are they going to do about it?
Did they ever say it if he tested positive for like the Lakewood one?
No, they said that was, well, I guess from everything I've heard, that one was not positive. But he never, I guess the way it works is they really don't release the results only to the rider, and like I know the other riders that were tested came out and actually they gave their test results away to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And like Cooper Webb showed his and said, "Here you go. I'm not positive," like everyone was talking about.
Right.
So I don't think they have. I mean, I don't think MX Sports released the results. I think they just told the riders what the results were, and I mean, I guess we would have probably heard a press release if he'd have been positive. But does that make it worse? We talked about that at the time. If he
Yeah.
has a medical condition, shouldn't he have been positive all the time?
Yeah, I think it would have been better if he would have failed, because then it would have gone with his story. But yeah, why you did passed one time and then
Yeah.
the second time it's. But
Yeah, I'm with you.
I still don't understand why, if you're in that position and you are taking anything and you know they're implementing the rule, why you wouldn't come right out in the beginning and say, hey, I've been taking this for years. You know, is this okay? Is it not okay? You know, figure it out. Don't wait till you get caught.
Logical explanation for that, and that's that it wasn't medically necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason you wouldn't comply with the rules and cover your butt should it ever be found out. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just like common sense.
Yeah. So
I
in
don't
that
know.
light, to me, he deserves everything he gets. You know,
Yeah.
because even if it was medically necessary or whatever, it's his responsibility to, you know, figure it all out in the beginning and say, you know, this is what's going on, not wait until you get caught and then go back and try to cover it up or whatever, come up with a story. So,
Maybe they just figured, in all their, well, whatever you want to call it, arrogance, that, you know, it could, someone could look the other way.
yeah, that's possible too.
But I mean, it's just a bad deal because obviously, those kinds of things don't give you extreme talent, and that's what he's got. But he just kind of ruined, in my opinion, he's kind of ruining his legacy because all everyone's going to remember is the fact that his career was cut short because he was caught cheating.
Does anybody really miss him?
Well,
I mean, I can't say that I see a huge difference.
I just don't like that there's one less person that can win races.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I like having who are capable of winning as possible. Really.
I can't remember if this was you, Jason, or who I was talking to about this. It's like, it could be the same with RV. It's like, do I miss him? And like RV, I mean, you can't take away that the dude is pretty badass, But like, am I a fan? No. But it's like if he's on the line, say he raced the outdoors, he's racing. What would you say his chances of winning are? 90%? 80%?
In outdoor races, his win percentage is probably more like 90%.
Yeah.
So it's like I hate even outdoors. I like to watch them race. I don't like to see a guy, and it might sound bad, I guess, but it's like it's not fun to watch when a guy gets a hole shot and then checks out. So
No, I understand that, and I agree with, like what you were saying about obviously they have to have the talent. It's not like any drug on the face of the earth is going to make them, a superstar in this sport or any sport. It's the same with baseball. They could take all the drugs they want. You still have to be able to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
right.
So it's, it's sad that it takes something away from what they've done, but on the other hand, you have all that talent. Why do you need to go and screw it up by doing something you shouldn't be doing?
Nope. But that's what I was starting to say. It's like, I think RV has a better chance of winning. Now Stewart, I think he still has a chance of winning, but like You know, you've seen what he's done before. It's either really good or it's really bad, you know. So
You know,
I think
he's either on fire or it's a disaster.
yeah. Yep. You know, like I could see him if he was racing these last few or half, however he missed, you know, I would think he's around that fifth or whatever. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't bet on him if he was racing just to be winning.
You know, you gotta think about like what the heck happened with him, because you talk about how his races are either really good or really bad, but if you guys go back to like if you watch some 2000, I think it was like 2006, 2007 Supercross races when like he was coming on to the 250 class back then, you know, and Carmichael was just cleaning house. He had some races where like him and Carmichael would ride absolutely 100% flawless races, just following each other, like shadowing each other. And it was literally lap after lap after lap. There was like almost no mistakes whatsoever. And then Stewart would like last lap pass him and take the win. And how you gotta wonder like how was his focus that good back then, and now suddenly he needs, you know, some sort of amphetamine to stay focused or whatever. You know, is it a symptom of concussions that's causing him to lose focus, or is it because he's older and not interested in it as much, or is he not training as well, or what's going on?
Well, do we know that he wasn't on it back then?
No,
I mean,
certainly.
back then there wasn't any testing for it. Nobody would know whether he was using it or not. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say. I agree with you. It's just who knows how long he's.
But then at what point did he get off of it then, when he started crashing, or was, you know, I mean, I feel like he was like one of those guys. I guess some people would make the argument that he's always been win or crash, but he's had a fair amount of crashes, but when you ride as fast as he does, when you do crash, it's usually going to be spectacular. It's not going to be a simple little tip over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess maybe he's always been a crasher. It's just that he was always so much better than everyone else that the crashes didn't always mean he wasn't going to win. A lot of times he could crash and come back and win still, but I don't know. He just had some phenomenal. It sucks because it's like you win 50 Supercrosses. That's a pretty big deal. And you think about the years that he missed, he could have easily. He's still probably got some wins in him. He could probably have easily topped McGrath's record. But
I thought this was kind of funny. It was online, and they had, if you take up all the Supercross points, now this would be this year, so all the Supercross and all the Moto Cross, did you see Dungey would have won the title by 2 points or something like that? Did you see that?
what are you talking about? I'm confused about the logic.
I hear dirt bikes.
Yeah.
What happened, Jason?
Sorry. Oh, Owen tagged me in a video on Facebook. I was watching it.
What are you talking about, Scott? If you took what?
I think if I read this right, so if you take the points from Supercross and you put the points from Motocross together and you were to combine them, Dungey would have won over Roxon, I think, by 2 points.
Oh, he had more points total between
Yeah.
the two series?
Yep. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, but then you also, you know, didn't win anything either, you know. I guess maybe that just goes. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but
That's pretty interesting that I've never even thought about that. That could be like the dirt bike hero, because it's a combination of like motocross and supercross. Be a multidisciplinary champion.
How sweet would that be? You have a motocross one weekend, and the next weekend you have to go race supercross.
Combine the two series into like
a
just an
hybrid.
overall champ.
And just one big super series.
Yeah, a champion of the world. Well,
That would be sweet.
I thought they used to do that back in the day. I thought the schedule used to be kind of jacked up, where you'd have like part of the Supercross series ran into part of the nationals or something. I remember they used to have really weird classes too. You'd have 3 classes on the weekends.
Whoa.
That might have been I don't know. I'm not old enough to remember that crap.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna ask Mitchell when his dad won a title at Loretta's, because I believe his dad won a title in 1983.
Holy smoly.
Yeah, I was thinking that he did. I had no idea when it was, but I thought I remembered that he had.
I was 1.
I was also 1.
I want to go back to Oak Hill just to talk to Jeff. He's a funny dude.
I know. I feel the same way. I just want to go back down there and hang out with Jeff for a couple days. Just listen to stories.
Who the hell just...
That guy can tell a story.
All right, boys. Let's hit up this nice, lovely commercial with all our lovely sponsors, because I have to go.
You have to make.
Yeah. Here we go. Hey, what is going on, everybody? I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that's been supporting the Talkin' Moto podcast. It has been amazing. We have a great group of guys. We have an awesome list of sponsors. So please keep sharing, keep liking, keep spreading the word about the Talkin' Moto podcast. And I hope you're enjoying the show. A special thanks to Motokazi.com. Motokazi holds AMA District 23 sanctioned races at both Kellogg and Mankato, as well as hosts the Motokazi Supercross Championship Series, which is all over Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. They also have organized practice at Kellogg, Jordan, and at Mankato, as well as offer race schools, so you can get all tuned in on all your riding techniques. Make sure to check out Motokazi.com for more details. We would like to thank Mike from MB1 Suspension. Based out of Corona, California, they offer suspension, engine, and coating services. Please give them a call today at 951-371-5045 or check them out online at mb1suspension.com and make sure to tell them that you heard about them from us on the Talkin' Moto podcast. Hey, we got Andy and Chad from The Open Mic. It's a weekly comedy podcast, and they talk about anything and everything, and they usually do. I've been on the podcast a few times, and it is a good time for sure. It's Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central. It's available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. There's more information available online at theopenmicpodcast.com. Pro Action by FTM is one of our many great sponsors. FTM offers support to you, the rider, trackside, so when you need it the most, FTM is there for you. Not only do they offer great suspension work, but they also have many other great bike parts and accessories to help you out on the track. So make sure to check them out today at finetune.com. The Talkin' Moto podcast is proud to announce that they've teamed up with Plainview Powersports. Plainview Powersports is your Kawasaki motorcycle, ATV, and side-by-side headquarters. Located in Plainview, Minnesota, you can reach them at 507-534-3520 or check them out online at plainview-powersports.com. All right, thanks everyone for listening to us on the Talkin' Moto podcast. We really appreciate it. If you can, go on to our website, talkinmoto.com. Support those that are supporting us. Everyone's link is up on the website. We're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud. Everything gets posted up on YouTube. So please give us a like, share, subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying the show. So let's get back to it. Alright guys, welcome back. Jason, are you running the show Friday?
Friday.
Isn't it Friday?
Friday.
Jordan?
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. I can't read.
Practice Saturday during the day, racing Saturday night. I don't know if I'd say I'm running the show, but I'll be there.
Are you going, Jeff?
Nope.
That's a big negative.
I will be roofing my house.
I
Anyone wants to come out and get sunburned and get a buzz, come out to my.
And hang out on the roof.
Mhm.
Sounds like an awesome combination.
Okay, so I looked up the Red Bull straight rhythm, and it must be a lot bigger than last time. I don't remember the numbers they had, but I'm gonna have 32 riders, head to head, and then a best of 3 bracket format.
Sweet.
So
Is it televised?
don't know.
I'm sure it will
I'm
be on the
sure.
Red Bull website.
Yeah. And then it says a full list or a full rider list is available. I don't know when the last time their thing was updated, but that's it.
I believe Take a Nap is doing that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's neat. I don't know. I would maybe think toward the middle it might get kind of boring. I don't know. Because you have to assume that it's just going to be the same, eventually it's going to be the same rhythm. They're not going to do anything different.
Well, once they figure out the fastest one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think what they do is put a bunch of amateur riders on that thing.
That'd be interesting.
There might be a little more carnage and it might be more interesting.
Did there was a
Turn into the Red Bull straight roller section.
Straight singles, homie.
I seen this video on Facebook today, and it's this guy, and all you see is him like you see the dirt bike, and he's like 5 feet above the dirt bike, upside down, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. Let's see how this, how this happened, right? And it looks like they took a plastic barrel and then tried to make like a ramp. I don't even know if I'd jump a BMX bike off of. But he hit this thing with his dirt bike, and as soon as he hits it, it just all collapses. And then he just goes flipping over the handlebars. Thought it was kind of funny.
Awesome.
I laughed.
I built my house yesterday. I felt like a child again. It was awesome.
What'd you crash?
I built a BMX bike jump in my house yesterday.
Ooh.
I haven't done that in like 20 years.
Did you hit it?
Heck yeah. My son was hit it, but I got this like pretty steep hill in my yard, so I built a little ramp and then landed in the slope of the ditch. It was pretty sweet.
Man, I used to ride my BMX bike all over town.
I've got a pretty nice mountain bike that is made for jumping, so I should probably start using it.
Some cross training.
Yeah.
So do you think that Tixiar guy is gonna? Am I saying it wrong?
It's Tixie, dude.
TCA.
It's Tixie A.
Yeah.
Even I know that. Ow.
It's R. R is an A.
The R is silent.
That's. Jason, where's the beep button? There we go. Well, whatever. So you think he's gonna get it? 23 with 1 round to go.
So if Hurlings comes back and just starts, there's only 18 riders that are signed up. So he'll get 18 and 18. He'll get 6 points just for showing up. But how well could he ride? Could he finish 10th and not lose 23 points?
How long has it been?
I thought I heard 8 weeks.
It's got to be 7 weeks.
He could do it.
I don't imagine. I don't know how badly he broke his femur. Like, I don't know if it just cracked it or if it was snapped in half and, like, you know, all jacked up where he needed traction and all that. But I would bet it wasn't that bad if there's even talk about this. It must have just been a fracture, like just a crack. And, because there's no freaking way. I mean, if it was a serious fracture, like a compound fracture, for instance, there's no freaking way he could be ready.
I heard it had a rod and screws, but I don't know if if they just did that, if that's an outside deal or if that's through I don't know. I guess I don't know.
That's how they fix every femur.
Well, sometimes
pretty much no matter what.
Or is it just the lower leg? I've seen it on wrists where you get like the screws coming off the skin, and then like the external bar or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? You see?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I lived with one of those for 3 weeks.
Was it sweet?
No.
Catch it on the
pretty
blanket?
much the lamest thing ever. It was the longest 3 weeks of my life. And there's pictures on Facebook. Looks pretty cool.
What's that thing called? It's like a cage that goes around you that has the screws that they tighten?
They call it an external fixator.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like mine was 2 rods sticking out of my shin and then a rod going through my heel. And then there was 2 rods that connected the two.
So were you like the Terminator for a week or 3 weeks?
If the Terminator, if his batteries were like 2% away from dying and could move no faster than a turtle, yeah, that was me.
I was totally it.
They get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper in an hour and a half.
Why do they do that? Do you know? Or does it just depend on the brake or whatever?
Yeah, for me it was because my heel basically went up through my tibia like a hatchet going through a log. And they did it because they needed to hold everything apart long enough for the swelling to go down, because like it was in my ankle. So if they had done surgery right away with everything as swollen as it was, they were worried that the incision would never heal because it was going to be swollen for so long. So they did that. I mean, it's just another form of traction, basically. They did that to hold everything apart, so basically it wouldn't heal for 3 weeks, which is how long it took for the swelling to go down, to where they could actually finally put it back together.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
It basically turned into, it's 3 weeks of you have to pretty much stay in a recliner with your leg higher than your heart, other than to go to the bathroom. You can't do anything. And I went back in 3 times only to have them tell me that, nope, swelling hasn't gone down enough, you got to go back home. And just that trip to St. Paul and back my ankle was just like a balloon again. It just exploded and swelled up again. So every time we did that, it would take like 4 days off of any progress that had been made. It was really depressing.
Yeah, and then that's 3 weeks or whenever before you're not even, I guess you've started the healing, I guess, but your ankle's not getting healed.
Because they're going back in and ripping everything back apart again.
Yeah.
So.
Get some duct tape. Wrap her up.
There was no duct tape in that one.
What did you do anyway to
Pretty much the dumbest thing ever.
Didn't you case a jump?
Yep. Like actually frame cased a jump at the sandbox. Never even went down. I never even hit the ground. And just felt like somebody took a big old bite out of my ankle. And when we finally took my boot off, my left leg was like 6 inches shorter than my right leg.
I'm no doctor, but this is not good.
I would have just got a taller boot on one side.
I thought I was a pretty good sport. I mean, I sat there at Sandbox and told you guys we didn't have to leave. You could ride as long as you wanted to.
That was the adrenaline talking.
Yeah, I regretted that situation or that whole decision about 3 hours later when I hadn't made it to the hospital yet.
Yeah.
I should drive next time, or not to drive. I mean,
Huh?
it should teach you not to drive with other people.
That's true. If I'd gone by myself, I could have driven myself to the hospital.
Um. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't know. I knew the numbers would be down, Jeff, and you said there was only like 18 of them signed up or whatever.
Yeah.
Why are their numbers down so much?
Well, it's in Mexico.
Oh, okay. I did not realize.
All them European-based teams, none of them want to freaking go to Mexico.
Yeah, I get that. I don't want to go to Mexico either.
Here, and there's only about, half dozen people that have anything riding on it because I'm sure most people are pretty much set where they're going to be in the race order or in the series order.
So if I was Tixie, yeah, I'd be paying people to show up.
It would help, I bet. Unless Hurlings is fine, if he comes back and can ride at 80%. Because if he can ride at 80%, he's still faster than 99% of them.
No.
So would this be bad if, say, he wins it, or he wins on the day, so he scores his max points, and Hurlings just goes and signs up? Because obviously then you want to have I don't know how the qualifying works if they only have 18 guys. Would you have to even go out for anything?
I think you'd have to go up maybe and log a lap time. But I'm sure there's got to be some sort of provisional like what they've got here. Where you're seated,
Right.
if you're in the top whatever in points.
Yeah.
It's kind of, in a way, it's kind of shitty that, like, he can go win the title even though he's injured. But at the same time, if Tixier doesn't, if he wins it, and he hasn't even won an overall yet this year. So it's kind of screwed up, really, to think about a guy that you got to wonder, was he the best guy for the entire year if he wins it and never wins an overall?
Yeah, but see, I look at it as here we got a guy that's how many races has he missed? Do we not? I don't even know.
He missed one early on with a shoulder injury. He missed his first race in Brazil because they went to Brazil twice this season, and he didn't go to the first one because he had a shoulder injury. So he probably missed 4 rounds or 5 rounds of 17.
I don't know. I don't know if that's nothing bad for them, but like you couldn't do that over here. What other series could you race that you could miss, say, 5 races and still be 20?
Well, number one over here it would have been 8 races. Because they're not spread out.
You could do that with the
yeah.
Moto series.
Hey, there's no asterisks when it comes to championships.
No, you're right. That your championship is not going to say Jeff left at 6:30 one morning because it was raining like a beast.
But
You would have had that one anyway, wouldn't you? I think
Yeah, pretty much.
you determined that already.
I just decided to seal the deal on Monday.
Well, that's fine. I just got to make sure I get the other one.
Mm-hmm. That you do.
and you guys said it's what is this the Supercross or this is still Moto?
Moto.
All right, let's take a look.
Supercross because I found out the races are at night and I can't ride at night.
You and Caleb's arch nemesis there was riding a Cowie at Millville this weekend.
Who?
Storm and Norman.
A Cowie?
He's riding a Cowie.
Wow. That's fine. Why is he Caleb's nemesis?
Because Caleb's like 2 points
Oh,
behind him in the Supercross series, and he's all worried about whether or not he's going to race at Jordan on Saturday.
oh, he'll be there.
Oh man.
Yeah, I kind of didn't think he would be until I saw him in Millville and saw him riding. And I'm like, yep, I'm pretty sure he's going to be at Jordan.
What?
So
I think Caleb better just worry about beating him fair and square. Not
that's
worry
what I
about
told him. Like, stop worrying about whether or not he's going to show up. Just worry about beating him.
all he's got to do is finish first, and his destiny's in his own hands.
Yep. And the odds are in his favor. You got a new track that nobody's ridden yet. Show up, ride practice. If he doesn't show up and ride practice, that's just dumb.
He said he's going all day. He's going ride practice all day Saturday and racing Saturday night. So,
That's good.
do you know, do the races happen a little earlier on Saturday than they do Friday nights?
I don't know exactly what the schedule is, but I think it's actually pretty close to the same because I think
It's earlier.
I shouldn't even say the races are earlier.
Yeah, practice is 11 to 3.
Okay.
Open practice, and then the normal practice is 4:30. Races at 5:30.
Oh,
So it's an hour ahead, which doesn't matter because between now and like the last Jordan, we've lost an hour of daylight. So
I was gonna say it might be a little easier for a blind guy like me, but
Jeff, you are 4 points back, my friend. Oh
in
no,
what?
you're talking the motocross, right?
Yep.
Yeah, plus 25B. And
I'm 4 points out of it.
yeah,
Dang, that's not really very good for me.
you were at 111. This other guy, he's at 115.
all you got to do is beat him.
What if he gets second?
He won't get second. I'll go out there and be blocker if I have to.
And then Jason, you're 4th. You are at.
I got no shot in that one. I don't have enough races.
Yeah, this year kind of fell apart on me a little bit. I should have went to more of them. Those Mankato's killed me. I would have loved to go to them, but too much crap getting in the way this year.
It fell apart on me too. That's why I'm kind of surprised that I was able to make it happen because
It's
it
the
feels like
thing
I missed a lot of races.
with what we've got to do, like for our plans for next year. If you're still on the same page, I don't know if you're gonna scrap that plan or what. But I'm going. We're gonna have to start in like 3 months. We're gonna have to start getting ready.
I've already started getting ready. Why do you think I raced at Millville yesterday?
Well, there you go.
Was that for 2015, or is there another one at Millville?
No, the first race of the Super Series is in October.
Okay.
But I'm just riding Millville, riding a little bit tougher tracks, trying to get crap figured out. But
And I already told Jason this, but Jeff, I got the key to winning there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to go fast and then whip it off every jump.
Well, that sucks because I can't whip.
No.
I think yesterday you didn't even have to be able to throw whips. You just needed to figure out a way to get through that horrible, horrible sand wash. Holy crap.
John was saying they were pretty big whoops.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what. That's my Achilles heel there at Millville, and I've went down in them the last couple times I've ridden there, and they kind of spook me now.
Yeah, there was, unless you had the balls to double through them yesterday, and they were, I mean, to me, they were way too treacherous to even think about trying to do that. I mean, it was just sheer hell. All 4 motos, it was crazy.
Were you going inside, Jason, or outside?
I was going outside unless the guy ahead of me went outside, and then I would go inside because I wasn't following anybody through there.
I watched a little bit. I think we've seen 450A or Open A go through there, and even not just the A guys. I seen, guys were hitting the inside and then trying to trying to get the double going, but yeah, they didn't look much fun from the golf cart.
No, they were treacherous. I think the golf cart was the best place to be.
I think as far as preparations for next year, I got a lot more to go probably than you do, but I feel like getting my suspension dialed in was a good step. So Clayton hooked me up.
That's a big part of it.
On Labor Day weekend, Saturday, I was gonna show up there Saturday afternoon, and I ended up going and getting a new truck Saturday. So I didn't out of town. We didn't leave till like 7:30. So I got to the track at like 9 o'clock. And then Sunday morning at 6:30, I woke up and started tearing my bike apart. And I kind of put Clayton under the gun there to try to get
Did he respond to you on Facebook?
No, I ended up calling him just from. I thought he might be already gone to the track, or I didn't know, so I just I called him, and then I actually just called him to make sure he had the parts because I was going to be wanting to do springs because that's what I ended up doing was new springs is all because I couldn't quite afford the whole thing, but I got my bike actually sprung for my weight, so this should be I mean it's definitely better, but it still needs a little work, but
need a little more loving.
so I brought him my stuff at like probably 7:30, and I'm like, "Yep, here it is. Can you have it ready by first practice?"
To show you what kind of a guy Clayton is, he made it seem like it was no big deal. Like I told him later, I said, "Man, somebody came up to me on race morning and said, I want you to put new springs in my suspension. I would have told you where you could put that suspension."
Well, I wasn't very demanding. I just said, I'm not worried about practice. Just if you could get me ready for the first moto. So.
Well, I still give him credit for doing it. That was
cool.
pretty cool of him.
Worked out well.
And did it with a smile.
And it's shocking how much softer my bike is than it was. But what a difference it made.
That's good, because I don't know how you rode it before. I mean, I only rode it once, but I don't know how you rode it that way.
I don't know, man.
It's no
like I
good,
said,
huh?
It's nice to spend a little bit of money on your bike and actually, like, last time I spent money on suspension, I didn't even feel a difference. So it was nice to actually feel something, and I've assumed that valving it's going to make it that much better yet. So hopefully we'll have a nice suspension package, and then I'll work on the motor this winter and get a little more horsepower out of it, so I can compete with them damn 450s.
It's tough, man. You get to Millville, you notice you don't have a 450. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get past the start, it's fine. I don't think it's that big a deal. But man, I mean, Scott, you saw 2 of my starts this weekend, but I think 3 out of the 4 were pretty damn good starts. I mean, I had a pretty good jump. I could look to my left, look to my right, not see anybody. And as soon as I clicked into 4th gear, it was like, here they come. They're gone. It's like, holy crap.
I know, and I think I might have said I thought maybe you misshifted or something, because yeah, you were right with everyone, like 40 feet out of the gate, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it was like something happened, and yeah.
I was sitting on the back fender and giving her everything she had. I mean, I thought I was going to twist my throttle grip right off, and I just kept thinking, man, if only that first corner was 100 feet closer.
What I've found, though, in most of our racing that we do, it's not about getting to the first turn first. It's about what you do in the first turn.
Well, it is when they're giving out Holstadt awards.
Oh, well, there is that. But I mean, you can make up for a pretty poor jump out of the gate if you're smart in the first turn. And a lot of these guys go in way too hot, or they let off way too soon.
Well, I thought I was doing a pretty good job of handling that, because I mean, I never start on the inside at Millville, and I started every moto second gate on the inside of the doghouse, And yeah, I mean, maybe probably chopped the throttle a little bit earlier than everybody else, but then made sure I was inside all the way through the first corner, all the way up the hill, and all the way, down that front stretch there. And yeah, I mean, it worked. You can definitely compensate for it. It's just that you definitely notice that you're in a class of 450s there. Once you get past that, I really don't think there's a whole lot of a difference.
No, that's what we deal with every day, though. Every time we ride in our class. So.
It's just so noticeable there because that start is so long.
Well, yeah, and it's all deep soil too. It's all chewed up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Kellogg's a little different story with the hard pack. You can actually get all your power to the ground. Where Millville, I'm sure you're losing a fair amount of horsepower to the fact that you have no traction.
Yeah. Actually, it's surprising how much traction you really do have there. But
spinning though, I mean, it's not like hard pack where you're probably not spinning at all on at Kellogg.
no, but I always get thrown off my first start at Millville. And I mean, it happened again yesterday where I thought I could just give her the beans because I was going to spin anyway and I wasn't too worried about it, and I wheelied like crazy. And it's like, God, how the hell do these things hook up on this stuff?
You're full of Talkin Moto. Too much power.
That's gotta be it. It's gotta be it.
Yeah. I know, Jason, we talked about this. What do you think it is with Troy Lee switching to KTM's? Any thoughts?
I guess I haven't had a chance to look into it at all. I mean, obviously it must have been a deal where contract was up and, maybe they didn't get what they wanted from Honda. I don't understand why you break off that relationship with Honda, I guess.
Right.
More support. Probably what it boiled down to.
Well, and that's what I'm guessing. I have a hard time believing that they had a problem with the bikes or, why after being with them this long would you want to go to a different bike, and especially a KTM, which is a completely different beast than what they were dealing with the Honda. It's one thing to go, switch to one of the other, big four, but to switch to KTM, that's a big, big difference.
No good.
I would think that it ain't gonna be too long, and you'll be talking about the big three and then KTM.
Think so?
KTM probably produces more bikes than Suzuki.
I would agree with that.
But they got to have better sales. Suzuki's kind of flat, I would guess.
Uh-oh. What's the chuckles?
Oh, you have to go in the chat room and see Owen's typo.
That's funny. We'll make them go back for that one. But so yeah, there's that. Do you want me to go on a rant? It's not a rant.
Go for it.
It's not a rant. It's more of visual, my visual thoughts. So they got like that MX Films contest or whatever it is.
Okay.
And there's two things right now that I absolutely hate about dirt bike videos.
Well, first of all, for those of us who don't know what that is, explain the MX Films contest.
Well, all I know is it's just amateur people submit their videos and then they're going up against each other. Correct?
Okay, who's putting this on? I don't even know.
Oh, this Racer X company.
Okay.
That's about all I know.
Okay.
So, I wonder if I can even bring it up. let's see if I can bring it up. And maybe I should back up. It's not just these people. This could be anybody. Okay?
Who are these people?
Anyone that makes a video. This is what 2 things I don't like. And if you like these, that's fine. But one is an entire video that it's all slow motion. Okay?
Okay.
The other one I hate is when, I'm not saying that the bike needs to be like in the center of the screen the whole time, but like when it's coming at you and it like zooms in, or just them coming at you, and then the whole, like, say they're railing a berm and all you see is like their foot and it's all shaky. It's like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up now. And then they'll do that with, high speed, and then it'll be a slow motion whip, lands, high speed, slow motion turn. And that's just...
Scott, you're just not an artist, okay?
No, it's garbage is what it is. Some of it is good. I'm not saying it's all bad, but like, especially when it's a 3-minute video with about 45 seconds of actual film and it's all slow-mo. That's really... I won't even finish watching them.
Well, you're better than me because I won't watch them at all. So.
That's all I have on my rant.
I don't know. I think that's something that's really, it's on Mars as far as I'm concerned with actually being able to have enough attention span to try to put something like that together. So I give people credit for even trying, but and it's pretty tough to do. What are they using? Are they using cell phone, or it all depends on what kind of technology they got. And we were down at Mount Carroll. I tried doing some video with my phone, and I went and looked at it. I'm like, yep, there's no reason for me to even consider doing that again because I completely suck at it.
I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Am I alone?
I understand what you're saying, but
I don't want to feel like I'm alone.
I always feel like when it comes to something like that, the content to me has a lot more... I don't know what you want to say. I care a lot more about the content that I do about all your fancy little technical tricks that you use to put it together.
That was kind of funny, like you say that. Like I watched one of them today, and it was really cool. Like all the stuff he's doing while they're not on the bike. Camera's like slightly moving, and he's got stuff kind of fading in and fading out, and it looks really cool, right? But like the actual footage of them riding is not so good.
I think that's you touch on an interesting subject there, because I've actually talked to a few people that kind of dabble in that stuff about the content that they use. And I feel like that's something that's kind of missed out on a lot, is more of the candid stuff, the stuff in the pits. You can take pictures and take video of dirt bikes on the track all day long. To me, after a while, it's like, okay, you're watching the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep.
But, if I were going to try to throw something together like that, I would be inclined to put more, pit stuff in, just people hanging out or whatever. I think, you miss a huge part of the sport by just seeing what's on the track.
No, that makes total sense to me as well.
Throw in some start gate stuff, throw in some, working on the bike, just hanging out, whatever. But if you're just there taking video, that's hard to do too, because it's probably pretty boring just to wander around the pits and take video of people hanging out. So
Be a creeper.
Yeah, be a creeper.
I guess the last thing that I have, and I really don't even want to talk about it, but I have RV. Do you think he's going overseas?
That's what everybody keeps talking about, so I guess I don't have any reason to believe he's not.
Question, does anyone believe he's going to stay here? I mean, everything points to the fact that he's going. He's probably going.
I'm a. I don't have a very good point of view on this one, cause my honest opinion on it is, if he is, cool. If he's not, I really don't care either way.
I don't know why he's doing it, I guess. I mean, obviously, I've heard, rumblings about it has something to do with how much time is left in his contract or whatever. And I don't know if that means he can race wherever the hell he wants as long as he's racing somewhere, and that's why he's going to Europe. But to me, I just don't get it. I don't get why he doesn't just ride off into the sunset and say, adios, I'm done with you people.
So I've seen a theory that his injury, that whatever was wrong with him last year at Supercross when he had it repaired, he's not going to be able to even get on a bike till November. And that's not going to be enough time to get ready for Supercross. So he's not really, he doesn't have an option. He's going to miss 2015 Supercross if he decides to stay racing in America, but I don't think he wants to race beyond 2015. So
Yeah.
he's GPs and call it a career. But what do you do then? You go over there. What if he loses? Does he try to go back?
Well, and see, that's what I don't understand. I honestly don't see him going over there, his first year. I shouldn't say over there because they're not all over there. But I don't see him winning a championship his first year in GPs because I think there's enough of a difference between that whole scene and the scene in the U.S. I just don't see it happening. So to me, he has to race at least 2 years. Otherwise, you're capping your career off with a failure. So I don't understand why you even bother with it. Why at this point you don't just take your money and run.
Does he care if he loses?
If he doesn't care, then why do it?
What about?
I got $4 or $5 million to make by doing it.
You really think he's gonna make $4 or $5 million racing GPs?
Probably. I'm sure his endorsements and his salary from Cowie's got to be $3 million anyway. And I'm sure there's got to be some extra money getting kicked his way to go over there.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. But if you got 30 million in the bank,
well,
do you worry about that? If you don't want to do it, I don't know.
Let me tell you this from personal experience. Just when you balance your checkbook, there's all those zeros you have to put on the end of everything. It's more of a hassle than anything else.
So you have all those zeros, but you don't pay someone to balance your checkbook?
Yeah, that's why I got all that money. I'm a stingy bastard.
Yeah.
You're going too many decimal places.
You're so friggin' stingy, you won't even buy a new computer for this dying podcast.
I know, right? We're just going to ride this sinking ship.
Stay until the rats jump off.
Yeah, see, kind of Owen's kind of going where I was going to go with this is like, I mean, he's done everything that you can, 450, Supercross, outdoor, why not maybe try to go for that world?
Yeah, but I mean, with everything I'm hearing, that even with his knee fixed, it's not even close, or it's not even going to be close to 100%. So what says he's going to be able to go over there and ride 100%?
Right.
I wonder if he thinks he doesn't need to ride 100%, and that's got to be crazy talk, because Rowley is going to step up his game for this. Because imagine what that'll do for Caroli's legacy if he beats Villapoto. I mean, I don't think Caroli's going to... Caroli knows he's got everyone covered over there. But if Villapoto's coming, he's going to step up, I'm sure. step up his game and his level of commitment.
If Villapoto was coming off of a full year of racing outdoors in the U.S. and taking the winter off or whatever to train and then going to GP, I would say he has a chance of going there and just mopping up. But he hasn't raced or he won't have raced in a year. I guess I don't just see him, he's not exactly a spring chicken anymore. I don't see him just showing up over there and cleaning house. I'm probably wrong. I mean, I just don't see it.
Tough, that's for sure. I mean, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot tougher than most people think. You think about like last year in Supercross, at times he looked beatable, and he was beatable at times.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to go to Rolly's backyard and think you're going to mop up the floor with him, and that dude's no slouch. I don't think a lot of people give him as much credit as he deserves.
And take into account that we're not talking about Supercross.
Yeah.
We're talking about a whole another ball game. So,
well, and the way it's got to be so weird over there because like you're in so many different countries. Where do you go during the week to train? Or do you go back to a home base every weekend or whatever, or not weekend, but every weekday after the weekend race? You go back to one place, and that's the thing. The tracks over there, they're not all like all the tracks here. All the soil's almost the same now. Everyone's been bringing in dirt. Everyone does all this crap to improve them, and by that, it basically means they try to make them as good as possible because they try to bring in all the same kind of dirt. Bring in something that holds moisture, and over there you got everything under the sun that you're going to be racing in. It's just, and the tracks are. Remember we talked about how crappy the one track looked? Because it looked like a GP track. The tracks are not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I know that. It'll make a hell of a lot more interesting to watch the GPs.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Those things have become. It's been just Crowley's an 8-time champion now. It's been pretty much a given who's going to win over there.
I think if it was as easy as everybody makes it sound like it's going to be for him to just go over there and mop the floor with everybody, why wouldn't every rider that ever raced in the U.S. and had success, why wouldn't they do that, their final year, just to put a cap on it? Why wouldn't they go and try to do that? It can't be as easy as it sounds.
Well, I think the only people that believe it's easy are the bench racers that are huge RV fans that think he's invincible.
Yeah.
But I think in reality, he's got to be smart enough to know it's going to be tough.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand why he even considers it, but who knows?
Yeah, it will be kind of cool though. I mean, to think about it, if he was to go over there and win, he'd have that in his, kind of in his back pocket or whatever when you're comparing him to the greatest riders ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no one else would have even considered doing it because it just didn't make sense. But now, maybe things have changed since we've gotten spanked the last couple of years at the Motocross of Nations. Maybe people are starting to say, well, that's maybe they are producing the best. But think about it. The 450 champ this year was groomed in the GPs. So
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna give me a headache.
That brings up an interesting point too. I mean, for sure, that for a long time everybody's considered the U.S. to be the premier place to be, and maybe the tides are turning there a little bit.
making all the tracks here the same is not helping that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because look how badly we struggled when we went to that sand track. Because that's like a serious sand track, and it was, I mean, guys were absolutely making us look foolish over there, our best riders. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean, man? You can't dispute that.
Well, you can't dispute it, yeah, but then it's just like... I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing this correctly, but like that's what they ride on, right?
Yeah, I think they're more well-rounded.
Yeah. And it's like,
Because
I don't know, I seen this on some comment. This was a while ago, and when there was talk of Hurlings coming over, and it's like, yeah, he needs to ride Southwick or something stupid like that, And I'm like, why would you want a guy that's really good in the sand come over here and ride a sand track? Is that retarded? Or am I retarded?
Well, if he was trying to pick a track that would best suit his style to give him the best possible advantage, that would make sense. But that dude's fast on everything. He's exceptionally fast in sand. He's good on everything, though. He's won every overall he entered this year. I'm pretty sure. That might not have been true toward the end, but I'm pretty sure he won every overall he raced in. So, and they race on a lot of hard, crappy tracks over there.
Right.
So, he's good no matter where he goes. But I mean, look at him and Caroli just absolutely put a spanking on everyone at Lamel, and their lap times were unbelievably fast compared to our guys'. So, I think that's what people want to see. But yeah, I agree. Find what suits our best guys. Let's put our guys on that, and then you're not really comparing apples to apples. A real good rider is going to be good on everything.
Well, that's kind of like Purcell when what did he win? Unadilla?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's a GP style, and it's like the guy freaking sets the fastest lap every weekend,
Yeah.
So it's like he knows how to ride a dirt bike, and I guess I'm not into buying the GP style, especially when I don't know. Maybe I should.
Well, I get in there. It's not like, it's not like he set the fastest lap time by accident at all those other tracks.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. He's a whole nother weird deal. Which I love guys that I think it's kind of interesting that he has such a huge amount of talent, but can't use it or whatever. It's kind of a bummer, but that's why I think we got to let these guys use drugs and just as out as they can, and may the best man win.
I say don't just let them use drugs. Provide them with drugs.
Hey, we should make it available to everyone so that we can see the best possible racing out of every.
Park another rig right next to the asterisk rig.
Yeah.
It can just be the drugs rig.
Yep, and pull in for your IVs in between motos, no problem. We'll get you
Yep.
refreshed, ready to go, and
Yep.
you guys are with bones sticking out of their arms, and they'll think you're hiding because they're so jacked up on stuff they don't even know what's going on.
I'm good.
Tape it
Jeff
up.
could be the new guy in the asterisk rig. He could just be taking 2x4s and strapping them to people's arms. Be like, there you go, you're good to go for the next moto. Don't worry about that stuff sticking out.
On it. Plot the wound.
Not cool, Jeff. No.
Hey, come on, what would the world be like without drugs?
Is Badass still alive?
No.
No?
No, he found his way to the vet to get tested for for rabies.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He was fine though. He was actually negative, but I got nervous of having him around, so I decided to go get him checked out, and turns out he was fine. But
Then you killed it.
well, we didn't kill it. They had to. They had to test him for brain matter, or test his brain matter. So
Who did he bite?
there's no good way to get brain matter out of your brain without killing you. I thought maybe they could just go in through his nose and scrape out a little brain, give him a little
Let's take a little brain out of him.
whatever.
Shoot. That's funny.
I really wish I don't know. I guess I wish he'd have lasted. He was pretty cool, but I just couldn't. The anxiety of whether or not he was a rabies infested bat was kind of killing me. So
Yeah. I get that. He was kind of fun to watch, though.
yeah, that dude, he liked to eat, and it was cool watching him eat bugs. He was pretty vicious with them.
Oh, it was intense watching him eat bugs.
Oh boy,
Poor
poor.
mine. Don't like these.
So how did you come across this bat?
I was opening my barn door on my shop, and he fell out. He was roosting up in the track, and apparently the wheel must have mangled his wing.
Mm.
So he was on the ground. Actually, he hit me in the shoulder when I was pushing the door open. I got hit in the shoulder with something. I turned around and look, and there's a bat on the ground. And then I expected him to get up and fly away. And the last time this happened, there was a bat in our barn door. It was a big sucker, and I picked him up by his wings and kind of gave him a little toss, and he flew away. Because they have a hard time like going from the ground to airborne. So I tried to pick this one up and give him a little help, and I noticed that his wing, like, I guess it would be like your forearm if you were to compare him to a human. His forearm was broken, so he couldn't straighten out his right wing. So I threw him in a box, and then later that night, I took him out of the box and taped him down to a piece of cardboard and splinted his right wing. And so I took a needle and thread and sewed a toothpick to his femur, or his forearm. And it's funny because, and then I took some super glue and super glued the knots and stuff so it wouldn't come out. And he was good. Like after that, he went to crawling around like a bat would crawl. Like he looked good. And then the next day, I thought I'd try to see if he could fly, so I brought him out. I figured if he could fly, I could set him free because then he could eat. But his wing was all jacked up. The tip of it wasn't working. So then, like by the third night, I decided I should probably feed him if he wasn't going to be able to fly. So I went and got some moths from outside and took a toothpick and clipped him to a toothpick and held it in front of him, and he went to town on them things. Like these moths were huge, and he ate the entire thing, and then I'd go get another one. He'd eat the entire thing again, and he ate like 3 moths that one night. And then he slept for 2 days or whatever, and then I'd feed him some more moths. That was pretty cool. But we had him in a little butterfly cage, and he just climbed around in there and didn't do much. But
So the last few days of his life, he was having a good time.
he was loving life. Food was being brought to him, and I had a little water dish in the bottom of the cage, and he'd climb down there and then jump in the water dish to get some water. It was funny.
Then you killed him.
How many bats do you know that got to ride in a motorhome and come to a motocross race?
Yeah, exactly.
You brought him to Kellogg?
Yeah. I figured we were going to be gone for 2 or 3 days. I wanted to bring him with so I could keep an eye on him and feed him.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know, I have a hard time killing animals just needlessly, so I tried to save him, but then I ended up killing him anyway, so.
Well, you didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, well, someone else did.
Oh, shoot.
Why did you have to worry about him having rabies? I mean, obviously I know you have to worry about that, but was there an incident that you said, okay, this bat needs to be checked out?
Well, Laura was starting to get sick.
Oh,
She was all of a sudden throwing up, which she hasn't thrown up yet. She's pregnant too, so that's obviously probably what's going on. But I don't know. It just made me start to think about it, and like I looked it up, and it's pretty rare in bats still. It's like less than 6%. I think they estimate have rabies, but it's way more common in skunks and raccoons. So
yeah.
don't be skunks and raccoons, people. But just got me nervous because the deal with rabies is if you develop symptoms for it, you're toast. Like you're done.
Yeah, it's already too late.
So not something that you want to mess with.
No.
We never, none of us handled them without gloves, but no.
All right, boys. I think
Good
that's
story.
gonna do it.
Talkin Moto Bat Podcast.
Bat podcast. Na, 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 na.
Actually, hang on. Let's see if I can make this work. Probably not.
make.
But
Man, Diet ice cream's a bad combination.
Ice cream is really good right now.
We have really good ice cream, but it's not good with Diet Coke, that's for sure.
I was very disappointed that they didn't have any ice cream at Spring Creek Motocross yesterday.
jerks.
I saw all them cones back there, and I was like, "What? No ice cream?"
Is that? Ah! Sorry, was that loud?
No.
Oh,
No, just not very timely.
Yeah, it was.
it took me a while to get it. So
Obviously.
I know.
Alright, ladies. Kill it. Kill it.
What are we killing?
Pull the plug. This show might have rabies.
Shut it down, Mike. Shut it down. Take some of its brain matter.